It's a cool, dreary November day. We're supposed to have some rain on the way. Hopefully, we'll get it. A lot of the time, when we have rain in the forecast, it seems to miss us. I don't usually eat breakfast, but it's already pretty late in the morning, so I'll just call this brunch. I have a lot of cleaning and redecorating that I want to do today. I hate to admit, but I'm just kind of already over the pumpkins. They didn't last quite as long this year, and they were wanting to start getting soft, and so I just took them all out of the house. And to be honest, it just feels good. I'm ready to get the house cleaned back up from my fall decorating and just start again with a fresh, clean slate and just get ready for some good old-fashioned Christmas decor coming up very soon. I try to put off decorating too much for Christmas until after the Thanksgiving holiday. I used to always decorate for Christmas with all faux Christmas greenery and a faux Christmas tree. And then the last few years, we've decided to start putting up a real tree. And so that is the main reason that I try to wait a little closer to Christmas, at least to put the tree up. I think I may start a little earlier this year, just maybe decorating with some Christmas type fruits in my wood bowls and things like that is just where my mind's been going. I didn't run the dishwasher last night, so I'll just put my plate in here and get the dishwasher started. I went to the antique store yesterday and they still had some of the things in there that they've had for a while that I've been keeping my eye on. This candle mold is one of them, and this pedestal is another. I thought this was a cute little mortar. And oh my gosh, y'all, what is the deal with vintage shoes? I mean, my foot is not exactly huge. I wear a 6.5 or a 7. These shoes that I have on are a size 7. And this shoe is literally like 3 inches wide. And then I ran on to a second pair and the same thing. I mean, were people just built different a long time ago? Just look how narrow that shoe looks. That's just fascinating to me. think what I'm gonna do is I want to take all of my decor down and just do a quick cleaning and reset, and then just start from scratch and see where all the new stuff fits in with the stuff that I already had, and just kind of do a little rearranging. I don't want to keep you in suspense though, so here's my haul from the antique store. I got the blue barrel, and I got this huge dough bowl and also a smaller wooden bowl. This little wax mount was just, it looks brand new. And so I got it. Then I got this black tin little pitcher. I thought it was really cute. And I had been watching this in the store for a while, this candle mold, and I asked them if they would come down on the price because they had it priced pretty high. Now I can't remember exactly what it was. I want to say it was $65 or $69, something like that. She did come down on the price a little bit, so I got this for $50. And I know that still probably sounds high, but I never find stuff like this locally, so sometimes the things that I really want, I just have to grab while they're available. I'm gonna get started with this hutch here, and I'm gonna clear everything off of it, starting with this one last pumpkin that's in the house. We missed it when Chris and I were taking all the pumpkins out. There's something about decorating with old pieces from the past that is comforting and just makes me happy. I can just feel their story even if I don't actually know it. Every nick, scratch, crack is just perfect to me. The rustier and chippier, the better. Even so, I try to be selective with my purchases and make sure it's something that is going to add to the joy and function of my home. I try not to make a purchase on a whim, although from time to time it definitely happens. The simplicity of these beautiful old pieces just remind me of simpler times when life was slower. Slow living is a term you hear a lot today, like it's some new concept. I think it is probably an old concept that was once a normal way of life that got left behind in the growing modernization of this fast-paced world that we know today, where everything is readily available at the click of a button. Things have become so easy for us that we tend to fill our lives and our homes with just too much. Our tendencies today can be to attain more and more. If I can only have this, I can be happy. If I can reach this status, I will be successful. Our days can become filled with stress from the hustle and bustle of trying to get ahead, or just trying to keep up. Life can be stressful enough without adding to it ourselves. It's important to be able to be present and focus on what really matters, even when the stress of everyday life is unavoidable. One's home should be a place to help in this process, rather than a place to hinder it or even add to it. Some believe that minimalism is what it takes to live a slower life. I don't disagree, but I think minimalism can look very different from one person to another. I've heard it said, the person with the least amount of clutter isn't always the person with the fewest number of things. Now let that sink in. It's important to be mindful of what we allow into our lives and bring into our homes. There were some great points made in the comments of my previous video on the subject of what home means to me. Someone said the meaning of home to them is a place you can go to be in peace, and it's a place you can feel safe and secure. Another said home should be a refuge from the outside world. It should reflect who you are. I love that. So when we look at what we have in our homes or what we are bringing into our homes, we should ask ourselves if it fits with who we are and how it makes us feel. When I think of slow living or simple living, I think of my grandma and papa. Though they didn't know they were living a lifestyle that people someday would be trying to emulate, they were just living life the way they knew how. Papa worked the same 8-to-5 job for many, many years to earn his family a wage, while my grandma was a stay-at-home wife and mom. Grandma kept a tidy house, and she still does. Her aesthetic was more maximalist than minimalist, though. She loves knickknacks. They bring her joy, even though she has to take time to dust and clean each one periodically. My papa, he was proud of the way that Grandma took care of him and took care of their home, though. Not so long ago, I was visiting them one night, and my papa saw me admiring Grandma's curio cabinet full of beautiful things, and he just randomly told me, "Tammy, the other night I sat here and watched your grandma take each one of those out and clean them." I just thought that was the sweetest thing. Then together, Grandma and Papa would raise a big garden every year, and Grandma would do a lot of canning, even entering some of it in the county fair. They also had a lot of land and cattle to take care of. They lived in town, so at least once a day, sometimes twice a day, they would drive out to the country to feed and do whatever other chores that may need done. I made many trips out there and back with them over the years. Some of the things that stood out to me, though I may not have realized it at the time, was the way Papa drove down the road at 45 miles per hour for the 7 miles to the pasture. There was no hurry to get there. He and Grandma took in the scenery all along the way, seeing how many deer they could count, or if Grandma might spy a bear or a panther that she was always on the lookout for. Once we got there, there was hard work to be done, but it made them happy to do it. It was not only their livelihood, it meant more to them than just money or food on the table. Grandma always had a name for every bull, cow, and calf on the place. And to this day, she puts feed out for the deer and calls them up like they're her pets. And don't even think about asking her permission to hunt out there. I can tell you the answer is no. So I guess what I'm trying to say is prioritize what is meaningful to you. Take time to watch the cows eat after you feed them. Pay attention to your surroundings. You might just see a deer or a bear. Buy the knickknacks if it makes you happy. Share your home with the people you love, and be content with where you're at in the moment. Slow living doesn't mean that we can't set goals and work hard to achieve them. What kind of life would that be? It's in our nature to dream and plan for the future, but we can't allow ourselves to be consumed by them in the process. Proverbs 16:9 says, "A person's heart plans his way, but the Lord determines his steps." The journey, though it may not seem like it at the time, can be the most important part. It's where we are learning what God wants to teach us and becoming the person that He made us to be. And speaking from experience, it's sometimes the hard times, the painful and most unbearable moments in our lives that we will come to look back on and be thankful for. For without them, we wouldn't be who we are today. And without any bad times, could we truly be thankful for the good times? So when our dreams aren't happening as planned, or our plans take a turn in a complete different direction, we have to remember that it's not in our timing. It's all in God's timing. Okay, I think I'm finally satisfied with how this is looking. And I'll just add one of my big wood bowls back up here to the island. That will be fun to fill with something for Christmas. Now let's see how this blue barrel looks over here beside the hutch. I'm gonna set the milking stool back over here beside it. Sylvie has to give it the sniff test and make sure everything's okay with it. Now I'll add another wood bowl over here on top of the barrel. This is my favorite wooden bowl. I just love the shape and the patina. I've been told this is a cheese box, but whatever it was used for, I just really love it. I think it goes well with this old firkin. For some added interest, I think it'll look better to stack some bowls on top of the barrel. Now I want to add a few things to the top of the hutch. This egg basket will add even more texture up here. Let's go back with some wooden bowls here on these two shelves. And another stack of wooden bowls with kitchen items on top of the firkin. And I am not exactly sure how I'm gonna style all these shelves on the hutch, so I'm gonna have to just play around with some things and try some different things, and we'll see how it turns out. this is not feeling right at all to me, so I am going to try something a little different. Let's see how these blue books look on the mantle. Oh, I am liking them here. Let me go see what I can find to go with them. How about the candle mold? So far so good. Now it just needs a little something more. I think this is it, y'all. What do you think? Okay, back to the hutch. I'm just not feeling any of this, so we are just gonna regroup. I am gonna take the wood bowls and do something different with them and add some brown bowls down here to the bottom shelves. Okay, we are finally getting somewhere here. I am liking the look of this now. I've added a little bit of all my favorite things. I have another basket and some more brownware, a little bit of pewter, and my old books. And if you're wondering what I did with the other two wooden bowls, I moved them to the shelves over here in the jelly cabinet. Now I think I will use this mortar and pestle as a centerpiece on this little table. And I'll just add another iron candlestick down here with the one by the fireplace. As I look around, I always see things that I want to tweak a little bit. I really like the simplicity of this one candle table and candlestick. Now let's give this wax melt a try. And it works, yay! And I think this is going to be a great spot for it here by the stove. Now I'll just add some wax melts. Oh my gosh, these smell so good. They smell like caramel apples. Now for this spot above the TV cabinet. I almost wish that I would have had the builder to go ahead and make this cabinet all the way to the ceiling because it's so hard to decorate and I never know quite what to do with it. But let's see if I can find just a few pieces to go up here and make it look pretty. And as usual, it still just does not quite suit me, but I'm gonna leave it like this for now until some other better idea comes along. I'm gonna set my sweet little rusty iron bunny over here by my crock of rolling pins. Thank you all for joining me today. Probably next time I'll be adding in all the Christmas touches. And I hope you will join me back here again for that. And I just want to thank you all for watching.